Yes, guys, welcome to this week's edition of Football Roundup. This is being filmed on Monday, the 16th of February at 9:20 a.m. Couldn't do like now, I was too tired. But yeah, you're getting a Monday edition. The Moi concept is still the same. Today we will be covering A-League, Serie A, Bundesliga and FA Cup. That's our championship. Because I cannot make this quick. There's a few games to win a cover. Championship back next week. So let's get started with A-League. We had 4 games this weekend, with the other 2 games being scheduled at random dates. One of them was on the 5th of January, which I probably didn't include. Then the other one is on the 7th of April, but we'll be focusing on ones to happen this weekend. We start off with Western Sydney Wanderers 2, Wellington Phoenix 2, Perth Glory 1, Newcastle Jets 3. I did watch the Newcastle Jets game. Really well deserved win for Newcastle Jets. I thought they were miles better than Perth Glory, miles better. And Newcastle Jets are such a good side to watch. Perth Glory, I thought, were off the pace again. And if they want to make playoffs, then they'll have to be more consistent with their performances. Because if they keep losing these games, then you're never going to get playoffs. Next, we have Melbourne Victory 1, Brisbane Roar 1. Once again, I did watch this game, and I got to say, like, neither team really looked like they wanted to win it. Yes, there were opportunities to win it, but no team to me stood out to me like, yeah, no, this team's going to go and win it. This is actually a crucial point for Brisbane Roar. They've been on some rough form recently. Hopefully this is the way up. And Brisbane Roar can get back on their bit of a winning streak. Melbourne Victory have actually started to improve a little bit recently, which is nice to see. Next, we have Sydney FC 1, Adelaide United 2. Adelaide United well deserved. Adelaide United were way better than Sydney FC. Ufuk really didn't set this up well in terms of the overall approach to this game. And Sydney FC are quite boring and dull to watch at times. I got to admit it, and I told my friend who's a Sydney FC fan, he agrees. This really just shows how much of a dull spot Sydney FC are in. Yes, they are in playoffs, but they could easily drop out if results don't go their way and other teams around them start to pick up some wins. Next, let's move on to Bundesliga, then we'll do Serie A, then we'll do FA Cup. Borussia Dortmund 4, Mainz 0, Bayer Leverkusen 4, St. Pauli 0, Eintracht Frankfurt 3, Borussia Mönchengladbach 0, Hamburger 3, Union Berlin 2, Hoffenheim 3, Freiburg 0, Werder Bremen 0, Bayern Munich 3, Stuttgart 3, FC Cologne 1, Augsburg 1, Heidenheim 0, Leipzig 2, Wolfsburg 2. Didn't watch any of the games as the scheduling for Bundesliga is basically the same as Premier League or FA Cup, so yeah, I will definitely start watching the Friday night games because most Fridays there's in Premier League. And if Chelsea isn't playing and it's a dead Saturday night game, I'll watch that too. But Yeah, on to Serie A. Two key games I want to talk about here, and a really interesting talking point. Pisa 1, AC Milan 2, Como 1, Fiorentina 2. This is not a good result in terms of Como's Champions League push. Really good result in terms of Fiorentina trying to survive relegation. Fiorentina has actually picked up a lot of points. They are actually now just tied on points with 17th place, which I believe is Lecce. Lazio 2, Atalanta. Lazio 0, Atalanta 2. Sorry about that. Notification. Inter Milan 3, Juventus 2. Now, this game, Inter Milan played well, but I felt like the red card Kalulu got was not a red card. The head of refereeing in Serie A did actually come out and say, that was not a red card, we are sorry about this, blah blah blah. Obviously VAR can't intervene for second yellows. Very much hand high up, slight tap, and Inter Milan player, and I believe it was Barella, who goes down very easily. Or was it Bastoni? One of the two. After he gets sent off, you could see their celebration. Barella, Bastoni, whatever. He knew what he was doing. He knew that he was on the yellow, so he tried to get him sent off. It worked. So stuff like this, right? Just overreacting to the slightest of pushes or whatever, or the slightest of hand taps. It needs to stop. It's the same with faking injuries. It needs to stop. But Juventus do go in level through Cambiaso, who also scored an own goal to put them behind. So fair play, Cambiaso. Second half comes around and Inter Milan go in front again through Esposito. Lovely header, superb, and well-deserved lead. And then Juventus make it 2-2. Me forgetting who scored it makes me having to just see who scored it. I believe it's Locatelli. Yeah, it was Locatelli who made it 2-2. And then in the 90th minute, we had Zielinski win it for Inter Milan. And look, Inter Milan is such a good football side, no doubt about it, but refereeing needs to improve. If Juventus didn't get the red card, the result could have been way different. Spalletti is probably and is proud of his players' efforts despite the red card. But yeah, Inter Milan did go on and win that 3-2. Udinese 1, Sassuolo 2, Cremonese 0, Genoa 0, Parma 2, Hellas Verona 1, Torino 1, Bologna 2, Napoli 2, Roma 2. Once again, this is another game where I did watch. Once again, there was a injury fake. And it's just the overreaction of absolutely nothing. Collapses like he got hit or something. And it's like, why fake these injuries just to get a player yellow carded? Referee didn't fall for it, by the way. And I even believe he got booked for simulation. But it's mental how far someone can go to try get a card handed out. And I also did talk about this next, about this whole faking injury or the smallest kick, then the overreaction. It's mental. Roma goes ahead through Marlon. Superb superb finish by Marlon. Gets on the end of a ball into a box. Makes it 1-0. Napoli then goes level. Roma then goes ahead again through a penalty. Marlon scores it 2-1. It was the most blatant penalty. Wesley driving into a box. And the Napoli player pulls him back. And then Alisson, superb strike. I do not care for the deflection in that. Superb strike. Makes it 2-2. And Napoli go home with a point. Roma go home with a point. And that's probably a really, really key result for both sides as we both push for Champions League for next season. We obviously have Cagliari versus Lecce tonight. But that's not my priority for tonight. Funny enough. Now we have FA Cup. FA Cup weekend is one of my favourite weekends because you can get these shocks. And we've actually had, I'm going to say 2, right? Let's start off with Hull City 0, Chelsea 4. I did post a review for that game, so I'm not going to talk about it. If you want to go check out my thoughts, let me know. Just go back to the review. Wrexham 1, Ipswich 0. I'm going to call this a shock, mainly because Ipswich was in the Premier League last season. And that's the only reason why I'm going to call it a shock. Other than that, it's all Championship side tie. And Wrexham probably deserved it. Burton 0, West Ham 1. Now, this game, right? If Somerville didn't play, this would go to penalties. Because this game was boring as hell until extra time. Somerville scores to put them 1-0 up. And then Burton Albion just kept pushing. They had some really good opportunities. But the end product just wasn't there. And on any other given day, this could have won the penalties. Burton could have actually won this on pens. But West Ham did edge it out 1-0. Was it deserved? Probably not. Burnley won Mansfield 2. Burnley lost to Mansfield Town. But could pull off a most heroic comeback midweek against Palace. They always confuse me, Burnley. Manchester City 2, Salford City 0, Norwich 3, West Brom 1, Southampton 2, Leicester City 1. Leicester City absolutely struggling at the moment, really, really poor. Aston Villa 1, Newcastle 3. Poor officiating here. Marc Bizot gets a red card. And my opinion, it is a red. Okay, look, I have no issue with that being a red. But it's what happens after that. Lucas Digne stands inside the box. Okay, handball. Sure, it's handball. We can agree, right? Inside the box. This plonker goes free kick. From outside the box. Refereeing in the UK, in the Premier League, in Europe is fucked. It's fucked. If you can't tell whether it hits the hand inside the box or outside the box when he's literally way inside of the box, it's not even close, then you're dumb, you should quit the sport, you should quit refereeing, and that is absolutely disgraceful. Second half, Newcastle did deserve it though. Gordon and Tonali scoring the goals to... Or was it Voltemard? No, Voltemard and Tonali with the 3 goals to confirm their spot in the next round. Aston Villa did go ahead though, and then everything just crumbled. Next, we have Liverpool 3, Brighton 0. No comment on that game. I was watching Inter Milan Juventus. Next is Birmingham City 1, Leeds United 1. Leeds United did win 4-2 on penalties. Birmingham could have won that. Birmingham were the way better side across the 90. Leeds were not great. But it was just like a clinicality. Grimsby 0, Wolves 1. If you've seen pictures of the pitch for Grimsby versus Wolves, then you will know that's the definition of 1980, where the pitch was so muddy and so unfit for purpose. It was actually fun to watch. Proper football, that. Oxford 0, Sunderland 1. Stoke City 1, Fulham 2. Arsenal 4, Wigan 0. Then we have Macclesfield, Brentford tonight. And then on the 3rd of March, we have Port Vale, Bristol City. But yeah, really, really good FA Cup weekend. I will not lie to you. Really good FA Cup weekend. But yes, guys, that's going to be it for this weekend's edition of Football Roundup. If you guys did go and enjoy, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. There will be a bunch of content out this week. Your Chelsea Burnley preview will be out on Thursday or Friday. I'm gonna say Friday. And then your other content will be out before then. I think I have 3 videos planned this upcoming week. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And peace!